The Enchanted Cottage, Snow White and the Seven Smurfs. In a small village nestled between rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a beautiful young woman named Snow White. She was known far and wide for her kindness, her gentle nature, and her love for all creatures, big and small. Snow White lived in a cozy cottage at the edge of the village with her 7 closest friends, who happened to be 7 little Smurfs. The Smurfs were small blue creatures with white hats who had come to the village seeking a peaceful place to call home. Snow White welcomed them with open arms, and they quickly became inseparable. Together, they tended to the animals in the forest, tended to their garden, and spent their days exploring the wonders of nature. One day, while out picking berries, Snow White stumbled upon a charming little cottage hidden deep in the woods. The cottage was in disrepair, its windows covered in dust, and its garden overgrown with weeds. Snow White felt a pang of sadness at the sight of the neglected cottage and decided to make it her mission to restore it to its former glory. With the help of her 7 Smurf friends, Snow White set to work cleaning and repairing the cottage. They painted the walls a cheerful shade of blue, fixed the leaky roof, and planted a beautiful garden filled with colorful flowers. The cottage soon became a cozy retreat, where Snow White and the Smurfs could relax after a long day's work. One evening, as Snow White and the Smurfs sat by the fire, a knock came at the door. To their surprise, standing on the doorstep was a group of dwarves who had heard of Snow White's kindness and wanted to thank her for all she had done for the village. The dwarves, who were skilled craftsmen, offered to help Snow White and the Smurfs build new furniture for the cottage. Over the next few weeks, the cottage was transformed into a beautiful home, filled with handcrafted furniture and decorations made by the dwarves. Snow White and the Smurfs were overjoyed at the kindness of their new friends and welcomed them into their home with open arms. As the seasons changed and the village blossomed into spring, Snow White and her friends lived happily ever after in their enchanted cottage, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the love of their friends. And though they faced challenges along the way, they knew that as long as they had each other, they could overcome anything.